The great tug-of-war tournament was here. Every year the strongest teams from every village competed. This year was no different. The crowd buzzed with anticipation. On one side stood the town's finest athletes. They were big and strong, with years of training behind them. They were confident, their faces grim, ready to win. On the other side stood a ragtag bunch of villagers. They were the underdogs, ordinary men and women with little to no experience. They were nervous, their eyes wide with uncertainty. The villagers had signed up on a whim, a shared desire to challenge themselves. Little did they know they were up against seasoned professionals. The townspeople whispered amongst themselves, already predicting the outcome. The difference in physique and experience was too stark to ignore. It seemed like an impossible feat awaited the underdog villagers. The whistle blew and the tug-of-war began. The rope strained, caught between two opposing forces. The team of athletes pulled with practiced ease. They moved like one unit, their muscles rippling with each pull. The villagers, however, struggled to find their rhythm. Their movements were jerky, their timing off. They stumbled, they faltered, they lost ground. Despair began to set in. They looked at their opponents, a well-oiled machine, and doubt crept into their hearts. The weight of the rope seemed to increase tenfold. The villagers' spirits dwindled with each passing moment. Their initial enthusiasm waned, replaced by the harsh reality of their situation. The crowd's cheers for the athletes seemed to mock their efforts. It felt like an insurmountable challenge, a losing battle. Suddenly, a voice cut through the air. It was Rohan, a young man from the village. "We can do this!" he roared, his voice filled with an unexpected fire. "Don't look at them! Look at each other! We are stronger together!" Rohan's words sparked something within the villagers. They looked at him, then at each other, a glimmer of hope igniting in their eyes. His words reminded them why they'd stepped up to the challenge in the first place. It wasn't about winning or losing. It was about testing their limits, about facing their fears. Rohan's energy was infectious. His spirit spread through the team, rekindling their fighting spirit. They might not have the strength of the athletes, but they had something else, something more powerful. They had the courage of their convictions, the belief in themselves and each other. Slowly, steadily, the villagers began to pull together. Their movements became more synchronized, their strength growing with each pull. The rope, once a symbol of their struggle, now felt like an extension of their collective will. The crowd watched in astonishment as the underdogs, fueled by newfound determination, started to gain ground. The athletes, used to easy victories, seemed surprised by the villagers' sudden surge of power. The cheers for the villagers grew louder, urging them forward. The atmosphere crackled with excitement as the tide began to turn. Inch by inch, the villagers pulled the rope towards themselves. Their faces, once etched with doubt, now shone with grit and determination. They had found their rhythm, their strength, their unity, and in that moment, they knew they could win. The final pull was a testament to their newfound spirit. With a mighty roar, the villagers pulled the rope and the athletes stumbled, falling over the line. The underdogs had won! Rohan, beaming with pride, raised his arms in victory. "We did it!" he exclaimed, his voice hoarse but full of joy. "We proved that true strength comes from within, from believing in ourselves and supporting each other."